This is Allan with Tune Army Baltimore. A gooner and a toffee walk into a bar. Decided to do a shit football podcast. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
And then they whoop your ass.
Say the Tune took the field and put in a shit performance.
Yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. It's I have thoughts. There are documents. They've been read.
Oh, no.
I'm ready to discuss them on the show. That's for damn sure. Without further ado, start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Our fucking producer. Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston. People fucking phoning in on me while I'm trying to record a show. And across the way from me is the Polish hen of hairdos, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
Puffy.
Yeah, very puffy, much like our new baby Polish chicks that we
Yes.
have there. I got little poofs on the top of their head, much like your hair did.
I like it when you call me baby.
You should, baby. You should. We're recording at Studio H, just outside. Oh, not Studio H, the DU Public House. See, Taylor fucked it up this week and did that in a meme, got me thinking the wrong thing. We're recording at the DU Public House, just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Of course, on all the social medias, it is at DUfootballshow and then DUfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. Very simple. And then there's a couple of more ways that we'll talk about later. But really just slide into the DMs. We check them fairly frequently, at least unless it's food videos my wife sent me.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a personal Instagram.
That
she just overloads the inbox with those, really.
That's all it is, just tons. The old dad jab messenger. So he says Carly dad jab. And then it's a bunch of shit to you.
Her dad passed, obviously, but Jab is the initials of her friend that passed away years ago.
Got it. Yep. And that's all the time. It's the fucking pictures of food or shit she wants you to do around the house.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
She sends me to-do lists on Instagram Messenger sometimes, which is fun.
Hey, this is shit we need to figure out for our child. Can you do this?
Yeah. Strange.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Don't have a bottle to show you on the interwebs tonight because this was a hard one to come by. But we are now continuing the run of Whisky Advocates Top 20 from 2021. And we are on number 8, aren't we?
We are on number 8. This is the Peerless Double Oaked Bourbon Whiskey. This one comes in at 108.7%. It says it'll run you $85. So we did find a bottle of this. A friend of ours went to Kentucky to pick actually a couple barrels for his store.
Right.
And we asked him while he was down there if he wouldn't mind trying to stop it and find it because it was not a national release. They didn't release this in Maryland. We couldn't find it. And he did manage to find a bottle that they wanted $235 fucking dollars for.
Of which we said, no, thank you.
No. If regular retail's $85 and you've more than doubled that, it's a bit absurd. That's price gouging, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we were able, however, before the list came out, one of his friends actually had a bottle, and he was able to secure us about 2.5 ounces in a taster. You want to show the little taster bottle so people know what that little thing there. Yep. So we did get to have it. We are about to have it. This is it here, but that's all we have. And this is one of the only ones we couldn't find a full bottle of.
Yep.
It might be the only one we couldn't find a full bottle of, actually.
It is, well...
Dickolate, we only got half a bottle.
Dickolate, we got half a bottle, and the makers, we've got about 3/4 of a bottle.
Yeah, so it is what it is. What are you going to do? So this week, the blurb comes from David Fleming of the Whisky Advocate. They rated it a 93, and it is a straight bourbon whiskey. Double Oak was born of a happy accident when a leaky barrel forced the distilling team to transfer its liquid to a new charred oak barrel. Exposure to that second barrel gave the whiskey amped up flavors and lots more complexity. This is a bourbon that has gone into overdrive, and it handles the road just fine. Its syrupy sweet texture is checked by the oak influence, and the palate opens to flavors aplenty: dried peaches, warm apple pie, Christmas spice, gingerbread raisin cake, chocolate, and pumpkin puree. A dessert for every time of the year. Perfect as a holiday warmer or a backyard barbecue sipper. This is a whiskey for all seasons.
Okay. Well, first off, with the double wood thing, that's not this particular brand that it was a happy accident, because double woods have been around for a while. I'm assuming that it was the first time a double wood happened, it was the happy accident.
Well, I think they said they didn't intend to make one, I think, is the problem.
Got it.
Is that one of the barrels was leaking.
Okay.
And
fair
to
enough.
save the distillate, they transferred it to a new barrel.
Got it.
I think is what they meant.
Okay, yeah,
We're like
to be like it's the innovator of double oak and be like, no, there's been a fuck ton of double oaks.
Balvenie double wood, for instance.
Yeah.
That was an intentional,
right.
We're going to age this in two different woods.
I want to say it was Woodford who did it first, but the Woodford double oak, it was intentional.
Right,
it was
right.
What happens if you put the distillate in a second brand new American white oak. And what it does is it amps up everything dessert. So along with a lot of those holiday spices that they're talking about between Halloween and all the way to Christmas, that like pumpkin spice, the raisin bread, the things like that. I'm getting all of that, but you also get a very intensified vanilla and intensified caramel. And that is what you can always expect. And if it says double oaked on it, it is going to have amped up sweetness. That is absolutely 100% going to happen.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's all right. I get more of the chocolate than I do the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Nah.
Baby.
But it's pretty good. It's a little warm up front. It's a little hot, but that dissipates quickly. And it's a little easier to get down. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
You just got to hold it over your tongue for a second and let that alcohol kind of burn off.
It's got a lot of heat to it. But that's also covered by the fact that when you double oak something, it just amps up all the sweetness. So, so
it is quite sweet up front. The front of your tongue starts
sweet.
tingling a bit.
Yeah, so you don't notice the heat on the back.
But then it's very rounded though, with those kind of chocolate and caramel, vanilla floating around.
Absolutely deserving of a top 10. This is a very, very, very good whiskey. And if it would have been 150, we would have picked up a whole fucking bottle. But at 270,
at 235 or 270 or whatever it was,
you can fuck yourself entirely.
Correct.
Completely fuck yourself.
Especially when the suggested retail price was $85. Come on.
And
it's absurd.
We actually we always want to make sure we have a backup whiskey here at the DU Football Show when we
only have an ounce to spare.
Right, when we're only going to have a little bit to drink. So we're going back to the old well from the 2019 list. I got the old Ezra 7-year-old. It is, I believe, it is not a bottle and bond. But they're 7-year-old barrel strength. That's why 58.5%.
Okay, so a little 116 actually.
Yeah, but we also threw it on an ice cube, and we're not going to get to it right away, so it'll be pretty calm and quiet.
Correct.
What else should we always do, Mr. Graham?
Always remember to drink responsibly.
All right. Well, you got to cheers yourself because producer Mel doesn't have a glass this time. Very well done.
It's not too bad. Left-handed too.
Excellent. Graham, there is only one God. And his name is Death.
Oh.
And what do we say to Death?
Fuck you.
Not today.
At least you got the reference, baby. I love you. Fucking Game of Thrones, you fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Everton 1, Newcastle 0, Leeds 3, Wolverhampton 2.
I did a lot of drinking watching that show, though.
Two sides, both dead and buried, and both fight back from adversity and find a way to win. If the Toffees were going to do anything to get themselves at least going, they had to come away with 3 points in this game against Newcastle at home.
Yeah, I thought that you couple this, which we'll actually dissect the game in the Patreon show.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that the manner of the defeat at Crystal Palace may have undid some of the good fortune that you all garnered yourself after this game.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that one. I very much disagree, but I'll give you that one.
Well, if it was a 1-0 hard-fought loss, fine. Decent performance, but 4-0 to Palace, I think that kind of undoes the nature of this game, which I thought you all played well.
Yeah.
Really, I thought overall the game was boring. I thought Newcastle was shit.
Horrid game.
There was maybe 4 total chances, and you all had 3 of those 4 total chances.
Well, Newcastle actually kind of pushed the narrative more, and Begovic had to come up with a few decent saves.
He did have to come up with a couple saves, I guess.
But you're right. It felt like the most ruthless of opportunities were taken by Everton, and there weren't very many of them at that. There was a few early, and there was one late, and that was about it.
Yeah, and it was a great little piece of maturity and invention by Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, that little back heel.
To find
Iwobi
streaking in. Good finish. He definitely learned that at Arsenal.
I was, no, you do not get to take credit for him.
But we taught him everything he knows.
But, okay, then everything he does wrong, you get to take credit for that, too.
He was ruined by Marco Silva.
I heard. He never played for Silva, you fucking twat.
But he did that very calmly.
Yeah.
It was a lot calmer than Allan treated Allan Saint-Maximin's legs.
Oh, settle down.
Should have been arrested for assault.
Oh,
it was absolutely absurd.
Oh, you're just trying to get a goat there. That is absolutely not the case. That was a professional foul in the middle of the field.
Attempted assassination.
That is
that
is a yellow every single time, and was given a yellow, and everybody had gotten on with their lives. Like, okay, hard foul in the middle of the pitch. You know, Newcastle did their appealing to the ref and yelled a little bit, which is exactly what you should do when there's that big of a foul. And that foul is exactly the foul you should be committing on a player running away with the ball, because they might have an opportunity to get onto a fast break. And that is a professional foul that a professional defensive midfielder made. You know how many red cards that is for Allan now in the in professional soccer in Europe?
The same number of Granit Xhaka this season.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah.
It's his second.
Exactly.
His last one was in 2012. Why? Because a player who plays that position knows how to fucking foul professionally.
I played that position. I'm pretty good at it.
And in that exact play, what the fuck would you have done?
Not leapt 4 feet off the ground.
Oh, Steve was not 4 feet off the ground. You need to settle the fuck down on that one. You're just doing it to just like I said, to get a goat. That's all you're trying to do. You honestly know that that's not.
You got to poke the bear a little bit.
And ultimately, it did get not rescinded by PGMOL and the FA, which I've got feelings on that, which we'll get to in a moment. But
I wanted you to know also that within what we're going to get to in a moment, there was a guest contributor.
Oh, okay. Very good. Got it. The other thing, though, is that red card situation has been created, right? For what? To stop people from getting their ankles broken. Young Min's son literally broke Andres Gomez's ankle, and what did they do to his red card?
They rescinded it.
What's the fucking point of the rule then? Come on.
I will say this. Him and Son, after the game on Saturday, despite their win, came out and said that he was very sad and disappointed that Harry Kane didn't score.
Aww. So sad.
Cunts. Absolute cunts.
But even with the red card, what does Everton end up doing? Figuring out a way, getting the fucking win.
Yeah, which you needed badly, obviously, especially because Leeds did what they did, which we're going to talk about for sure, and all the stuff that we're about to get into. You needed this 3 points. Really
what are you
bad.
talking about, Patriots? You know exactly what happened.
Fuck.
I've only gotten 36.3 seconds of sleep this weekend because I have painstakingly read all the documents, all of them right here, 100% of them. They want you to believe. Young Min's son did it for the children, so he's okay.
Allegedly.
He's fine. He's a fucking hero.
Allegedly.
Arsenal now staying silent. Why are they staying silent?
Because we're winning games.
Because they're back in that global elite 6-team big Super League fucking cabal. That's what they're doing. That is
Allegedly.
exactly what they are doing.
Cabal.
Saturday.
I'm not even getting in to the jabs. I'm not even going to get into that.
This is the point in the rant where
sticking
YouTube
to
needs to
this
remember this is satire.
Right here, all the notes. What it is, you know what it is? They didn't like having been spit in their face. They didn't like it that Everton stood up to the big government and said, look, that was a handball against Manchester City. It was absolutely a handball.
It was.
And they made him apologize, and they made him say, you're right, it is. And then you know what they did? They got right in Stuart Atwell's head while he was sitting there at Stockley Park and said, you make sure they get a red card and they go to hell. Hell, you hear me? They go to hell. Because it's the literal Christian devil that wants to see Everton go down.
All right, Alex Jones.
When he started this off with "There's only one God," I thought we finally got to him, but no,
No.
we didn't.
I had to look over to see if the vein was going, and it's in full effect.
It is.
Patriots, we can't do this alone. We need your support. We have to fight tyranny at all levels, especially from the two of them.
All right, you leave Kieran alone.
They
It's a football joke, Mel.
They are all against us. Listeners, it's you and it's me, and that's it. Fuck them. I will keep doing the hard work. I will keep reading all the documents and keep everything above board. And you all need to understand, I can only do this with your support. You have to go to the DU Drip Shack. Buy many of our great products that are all good. They make you, the last time I heard just normal people buy them, they look more handsome. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told.
The hashtag better than Brody.
That has been pretty good.
They want to distract us.
Great response to that.
Don't let them defeat us. Do not let them defeat us. Patriots, you, I, Everton, we will always find a way and we will always be victorious. And ignore what the global Big Six and that turncoat over at Villa's done. Freedom will be ours. Freedom will be ours. I assure you of that.
Now he's mad at Luca Digne.
Can I just say real quick, Mel, that there's no better tagline for the DU Drip Shack, and we need to change that to "Our great products are pretty good."
So Wolves completely dominate Leeds in the first half, and Leeds are dropping like flies.
This fucking thing cost me $815 goddamn dollars.
Oh, yeah.
I got every other piece of that parlay correct. Every single bit of it. And Raul Jimenez decided to fucking go in with the goalkeeper and get a second yellow, which I think is also a little harsh.
I would agree. I think the
It's
first
a 50-50 ball, that.
I think the first foul was absolutely
Correct.
a yellow card, but I think the second ball was a 50-50 ball. I think if that was two players and not a keeper, he probably doesn't see yellow.
But there's
for
the
that.
thing. It's you and your lot, your people, that require extra fucking protection from the referees.
No, it's not. It's my people, Patriots, fighting to make sure you don't win more money so you can't finance the Big Six. I'm just saying. Just saying. Graham, it's in this document right here. Right here. Graham is turncoat. It says it right there. Clear as day. Clear as day. So, halftime, players
Cruising.
dropping like flies. Wolves have got this shit.
Yep.
Then the red card happens, and all hell breaks loose.
Well, Mesley also had to go off. And their replacement goalkeeper, the only Smalley, that's not a word, just less experience is probably a better way to describe it. The just less experienced 19-year-old goalkeeper came in for the 21-year-old goalkeeper. And actually played very well. Had a couple of decent
Made a worldie.
saves. Yeah.
He had a worldie.
A couple of really decent saves that were, good, solid contact, hard shots, held them well, didn't just parry them, actually caught them, held on to them well, commanded the box all right. And then, as you say, had that one world-class save. Luke Ayling, after...
Because, of course, it has to be Luke Ayling.
the first few
If it's
minutes...
not Stuart Dallas, who was hurt, right? Who's it going to be? It could be Luke Ayling.
Luke Ayling fucking made it happen. He was involved in all three goals. And I'm not sure why. I couldn't find a reference made to it online. I actually searched for it, tried to, because I don't understand why Luke Ayling did when he scored his goal, the winner in the 91st minute. Why he tried to do, because he didn't really do it, Robbie Keane's old celebration.
Yeah.
Was strange.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like Keno was talking shit about him. I didn't know if he complimented him recently, so he's paying homage, homage.
Yeah. Homage.
I don't know. It's just a strange link to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think their careers overlapped at all. It's weird.
Yeah. Very weird.
I don't know. It's strange. But the goals, Rodriguez was pretty good. It was a decent strike. A little deflection, obviously took it past the goalkeeper.
Trincão's for Wolves was
fucking gorgeous, that goal. And Trincão was, I think, Wolves' best player when he got subbed on when Neves got hurt. He was absolutely awesome. And then Jack Harrison's the first goal that started the comeback was a pretty decent goal as well. Mm-hmm. It was overall a good game. I don't know that I've ever seen a red card change a game so much.
It did.
But it absolutely did. Wolves just couldn't seem to cope with it.
Yeah.
And Leeds in their traditional, over the last 2 years, just piled forward and piled forward and piled forward.
And it's funny because the guy who went off should be the least impactful. Like, it's your striker.
Right.
Okay. Great. No one's up top. We go with the same lineup. One of us makes a run. Like, it's the easiest setup ever.
Yeah, and they just didn't do it. They just couldn't hang on. It was strange.
Also, Saw, I think it was on the second goal where he was just like, "What are you doing, man? Just running around the box chasing the ball."
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
It's like
So
they just forgot where they were all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Like they forgot it was a professional game and not pick up in the park. Like it was strange.
So is this the win that propels Leeds to safety?
I think it'll give. I don't know that that's the case yet, but I think it gives Jesse Marsch a better way of working now,
Right.
because there's been a ton of he's getting slaughtered online with Ted Lasso memes and you don't know what you're doing and get out of our game, American, and all this kind of crap.
Because people from Leeds are rational people.
People from most clubs are rational people.
Very rational people.
But I think 2 wins in a row now and having a little bit of momentum is going to give him a better working environment for the time being. Now he needs to take that where there's a lot less outside noise and he needs to turn that into another win.
Right.
And then a draw and then a win. And then maybe you can lose again. You know what I mean? Is get some points on the board now as things are calm, and then people won't react so poorly to the losses.
Right.
But I think it'll calm down the noise surrounding Leeds enough for him to really get through to the players. But as you know, Trincão's was a worldie.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can really do about that. So I think you look at the situation. I think Leeds are a bit more pragmatic. I think they are a bit more solid defensively. Especially once they took the lead. There was a couple of Wolves chances there at the end that Leeds dealt with pretty well. And some of it was down to the goalkeeper, but there was a couple of blocks put in. There was actually some very composed defending. I think actually from Ayling again. It was decent.
But also, again, injuries. Bamford down again. Meslier down. That's not what you really want.
No.
Great. The 19-year-old stood in well. You can't ask too much of a kid. You really, especially in the position like keeper. And then, yet again, the cock comes back healthy. The cock leaves hurt.
Probably change it from 2 shades of green.
Look at Sam throwing the daggers this time.
I'm saying maybe we make one of them like red.
Not a lot of games.
So mad.
Not a lot of games. So rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0, Tottenham 2, Brighton 0, Arsenal 1, Villa 0, Leicester 2, Brentford 1, Tottenham 3, West Ham 1. The Reds answer yet another call. Like, okay, here's a team that's in form, that's good, that should give you a hard time. You're in their building. They walk away with 3 points.
I think in a weird way, both teams answered the questions.
Right.
Arsenal didn't get blown out. They had chances. Pretty much every statistical category was even, except goals.
Right.
They just had that little bit of extra quality and were able to tuck them away, where Arsenal couldn't. But shots on target. I think we had one less shot on target, 2 more overall shots. So it's not like we didn't create chances. Not like we weren't in the game. And I think possession was 46-54.
Right.
So we were almost even possession against one of the best teams in the country, one of the best teams in the world.
Right.
I told you going into last weekend that the Leicester game was very important because losing that and then probably losing at Liverpool could be the start of a bad run.
Right.
We answered the Leicester test. We had a good showing against Liverpool where in 11 minutes we got picked apart twice.
Right.
One of them was probably a Aaron Ramsdale mistake, getting beat at his near post, although the ball was struck very well, and he did get a glove to it. If you get a glove to it at your near post, you should be keeping it out.
Yes.
Is it also didn't have fire coming off the back of it,
right?
Which
you got to save that.
You got to save that.
Yeah, it's on the keeper on that one.
Yeah. Also, Lacazette, a striker in form, when he rounded that corner, would not cut the ball and put it back on for Odegaard.
Yeah.
A striker in form and confident would take that shot on.
Right.
Despite a defender being there.
Right.
But he didn't. It's okay. So the real question was how we were going to do against Villa, right? So, which obviously we'll come on to, but there was some real helter-skelter defending at times, but Liverpool will do that to you. They're very quick, they're very accurate, they're lively, and you're really just kind of trying to keep up.
Right.
And like I said, most of the time, Arsenal answered that call. But Liverpool just had that little bit of extra quality. They just had that little bit of extra panache, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And they got their goals. And Firmino,
it's a team that's going to be battling for the title.
Firmino, that always gives us problems, came in and 3 minutes later scored. It's not a huge surprise that happened. You know what I mean? It is one of those things.
I had forgotten I needed both of the glasses here for Malort because you had lost also.
Yep.
What was the bet you two made, by the way?
I
don't think we did.
Oh, I remember exactly what it was.
No, I don't think we did.
What was it?
No, nothing. Nothing.
Was it a double?
Shh. Idea. Silence.
Was it a double?
You have to remember what it is before I
go back. We could pause it and I go back to injury time and listen to that
It
bet.
would be the first time you've ever listened to an injury time. Go ahead and do your shot there, killer.
All right, so here's the shot of Malort. And with us still being in fourth spot and having the showing that we showed, and then having the weekend we had either side of this, I'll happily take this shot.
Excellent.
Perfectly fine with me. Up the Gunners.
Ooh, I don't look like you're gladly taking that shot. Looks like trouble's there, killer. I remember my first shot of bad liquor.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Just too funny. Oh, I love looking at that face.
That's we won 6 out of the last 7.
Yeah.
It's been over a month since I've had to take Malort.
Who the fuck are the Spurs? You were watching this team that loses to Burnley and then just plays like, and then this just comfortable walk in the park over Brighton. I mean,
Brighton were not. In a lot of cases in this game, Brighton were architects of their own demise.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think Tottenham particularly did anything very well, per se. It took them 36 minutes to score Spurs still. You know, I mean, they it's not like they were exactly ruthless. Kulusevski, though, had his shot deflected for that opener, of course. And then Kane got the second to make him the all-time away goal scorer in Premier League history. And
that's more than your boy, right?
It is, which is funny. It's who he eclipsed for. It was Thierry Henry. And what makes it funny is the meme that came out of it was Henry sitting with all of his trophies that he's ever won.
Right.
And then Kane just there with like a tree in the background. And it said, Kane got this record, but Henry's won 4 Premier Leagues or 3 Premier Leagues, 2 La Ligas, right? A Champions League, a Europa League. Like he's won all this shit. And it said Harry Kane once got a sticker for not eating a crayon at school. Which is quite funny. But yeah, I'm really not super concerned about it. It was really, all in all, it was a crap game. And that's a made up bullshit stat. No one cares.
Well, no one cares because it's your boy.
I didn't even know Henry had the record until they said it.
Yeah, you would have cared.
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't have.
I'm pretty sure.
I want total goals.
I'm pretty sure you brought that
the
up.
The whole smorgasbord.
I'm sure you probably brought that up on. One of the times they were talking about Cantona, you're probably like, yeah, and he has the most away goals in the Premier League, too.
I never said that, no. I just said he's not fucking insane. Like, Eric Cantona is fucking insane.
Insanely awesome is what he is.
Glad you're so proud of yourself.
Brighton. Potter was being courted, obviously, by the likes of Everton, and they've started kind of hinting at him for a Big Six job. His team's relatively healthy, and they're doing the downward slide again. This team is relatively talented.
I think that's more of a question mark surrounding the players rather than Graham Potter. I think his tactics, his system have shown to cause teams big teams problems.
Right.
But Neil Maupay has been a streaky player his whole career. Scores four games running, 5 games running, and then you don't hear from him for 2 months. And then,
but there's also got to be something.
Sully Marsh, still young. Leandro Trossard, a winger, so you can't really pin your hopes on him to score. Danny Welbeck, who's coming in for Maupay, injured most of the time. Can't get him running the side to do good things. They
McAllister's young.
McAllister's young, even though he's got the beard of a 40-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different factors, I think, go into Brighton not being the best. The people surrounding Yves Bissouma aren't as good as Yves Bissouma, so he tries to do too much in a lot of cases. Tarek Lamptey can't do it all on his own because there's no balance. Now, this season, Cucurella, or Cucaracha, as I like to call him, has been brilliant down the left-hand side, but he's still no Tarek Lamptey. Tarek Lamptey creates more chances.
I'm under the impression that at some point you can't just keep being 13th place. And it feels like they're making an investment into players and they're trying to get there, but it's not all working. Not that I am here to diss Potter, because I think he is a very smart coach and I think he's very good. But there's also a chance you could overstay your welcome at times too. And if this team doesn't start to turn it around, like,
only his stock will drop.
Right. And here's my here's kind of the question, I guess, ultimately is, when is he going to crack some skulls? Because I don't think that's in his repertoire. And as a manager, at some point you gotta, when your boys aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, look them and go, get your fucking heads out of your ass and start fucking playing football, please.
Now, I think that may come if they decide to have a summer where they spend $75 million and take the plunge, and he can't put it together.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that's when they go, okay, you know what? It might be time here. But on the budget that they're on, with what they can attract in terms of talent, is never going to be what the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Well, Chelsea can't do anything now. It's never going to be, even to the extent of what Leicester can do, being a recent Premier League winner,
right?
And recent FA Cup winner. It's not going to be to the level that they have, even now, West Ham, with having European football. You know, should they decide to splash the cash, people would be okay going there because of that.
Right. So how about that? You coughing for once.
I know. I think it's tough because you're right in a sense, but I don't think any of those jobs are going to be open, even if Tuchel does leave. And there's now talk of, if Pep hangs it up, if he wins the Champions League, Tuchel may be going to Man City because of all the uncertainty surrounding Chelsea.
Heard. So
that, you know, it seems rather likely, or that in general Tuchel wouldn't be there. But would Graham Potter fit that? I don't know. I would have thought somebody like a Tottenham, somebody like an Arsenal, before Arteta came in. That probably would have been the move to break into that Big Six because they were projects, and now that ship may have sailed for him. Yeah, because absolutely. I don't think Manchester City is going to take a chance on him.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
I think Manchester City goes for Nagelsmann or for or Ten Hag, even an established top-level coach that has performed well in the Champions League.
Yeah, if they're going to make a risk, the risk that they would make would be Arteta or Vieira.
It's a more calculated risk, exactly, in that situation. Yeah.
That would absolutely be the risk that they would take, is that. Moving on. This was exactly the answer Arsenal needed this weekend.
Yeah, Villa threatened a few times. Obviously, the final free kick there at the end, but I think it was John McGinn that took it. That Bernd Leno pushed away. That ended the game. Was their best chance of the game besides a deflected shot that hit the post. So Arsenal managed Villa very well in the dangerous areas. I'm not sure who was on him. May have been Partey running around with him, but he was completely. That's funny. He was completely Coutinho. That is completely shut down. Completely shut down.
Melissa, you can be happy with that slightly heavier report, or I can tell you exactly what I know and do it.
I love you, Samuel Dallas Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It was a full mug of Malort, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. And look, David Geckel is not online right now. To give us
Stat Boy's not
corrections.
there.
But yeah, so it was the perfect response. I think they managed the game well. Bernd Leno was called on a few times. Ramsdale obviously picking up that hip injury. And Ramsdale was the first one running onto the field at full time to congratulate him.
Yeah.
It's the togetherness of the squad. You can see what it means to them.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Villa ever really got out of first gear. Like, I mean, they had a couple of chances, but it never really felt like they.
Well, I think a lot of what goes on there now. I think Coutinho is fully bedded into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And a lot of that creativity goes through Coutinho now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we like it. We're putting a ring on it.
Like I said, I don't know who it was. I think they may have been switching off from time to time. Like, hey, you take him for 10 minutes. All right, now you take him for 10 minutes. But they completely nullified Coutinho.
Oh, he could not get into the game. at
Couldn't
all.
get anything.
Nothing.
So I think somebody was shadowing him, and then whoever was free was covering that person's spot. So, Partey took 10 minutes, then Kieran Tierney took 10 minutes, then, Ben White took 10 minutes. And just everybody had a chance. So they spread the love around. Nobody got super tired from because he is lively, Coutinho. He gets around the pitch. And, they completely nullified him, and that kind of stymied their attack a lot. A lot of their attacks broke down at the final ball.
Yeah.
I was listening to the game. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but the commentators kept questioning why Danny Ings wasn't coming on.
Right. He came on late. Came on very, very late.
Now, I don't know if he
I
was
don't know if
carrying
it
a
would've
knock or...
Made a difference, but Ings and Watkins have been great together, and it just confused them why that switch wasn't made sooner.
Managers a lot of times will kind
overthink shit.
Well, no, they'll rearrange their lineup to go more defensive because we're playing Arsenal and Arsenal likes to get up the pitch, so we're gonna withdraw that extra striker and put that body in the midfield. When what you probably should do is just stick to what works.
So
play your game.
Here's what I say: Villa have been winning a lot of the games they're supposed to win this season.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in a chance really at all to go down.
Right.
They're probably not in with a shout for a Europa League spot either.
I think they'll be on the outside looking in.
Why not just do what you want? Play your game, and when you're 3-0 down at halftime, then make the changes. See if you can play that way.
Right.
Give it a fucking go. Why? Like, who cares?
Yeah,
ultimately, you're going to finish in 12th. So what's the difference? Or 9th or whatever.
I think
but
this
what's
week,
the, you know what I'm saying?
I think this week kind of showed, Wolves and Villa, while both very talented sides,
do not go in European spots.
There you go. Well, fucking said. I could not say
Wolves
it better.
and Villa, while fun to watch, do not belong in Europe.
Yeah, European spots. That was good. While fun to watch, spots. Like that kind of rhymes though. Oh.
My God.
All right, so Mrs. Houston, would you like to go ahead and take that shot?
You know what, Graham? There's no way I can top that, so up the Villa. Fuck.
That's funny.
I must be used to it because I'm definitely taking it like a champ, unlike him.
Okay. Slagging me off all the time.
I'd just like to let y'all know I don't have to take one this week.
You should.
No, that's your
performance was fucking terrible.
That is your own. That is your own doing yourself with that one there, Mr. Graham. You did that You did that FA Cup shot to yourself. Nobody here held your feet to the fire to do that.
I've done it for 3 solid years.
All right. Well, no, we never arranged it this season, so that's on you, gangster. Welcome back, Mr. Cassagna, to Leicester. Woo!
What a goal!
Woo!
What a goal!
Wow, what a rip!
They put that ball in the size of a postage stamp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was fucking brilliant, that goal.
Man, was it good.
I think Weiss's goal at the end was also very good.
And
Madison's free kick. Yeah, Madison's free kick was inch perfect as well.
Yeah.
But what I think the scoreline kind of flattered Brentford a little bit. I think Leicester looked a lot more comfortable to me than this suggested. And Weiss's goal, but we didn't get the meditation celebration, which is annoying because I actually really like that one.
I would disagree a little because I felt like Schmeichel did have to make a couple of
He made a couple saves, yeah.
Big saves. He had a point blanker that he saved that was pretty fucking fantastic.
Yeah, actually, okay, that's probably fair.
But I can relent to this that more of the chances and more of the opportunity seem to be going Leicester's way. This felt like this maybe should have been a 5-3 game, not a 2-1. The way like the keepers came up big in this game.
I can see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. So maybe I'll agree that Leicester weren't as comfortable as it kind of looked through the run of play, because Brentford did have some chances. I'm thinking back now, and actually Schmeichel made a fair few saves, to be completely honest. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's hard when Christian Eriksen, the same way kind of Coutinho has done at Villa. Christian Eriksen, the last like 3 games, has been instrumental to chance creation and conversion by Brentford. He was out for this game.
Yeah.
And they created the chances. They couldn't finish them off. They put themselves in okay positions, but not great positions. And I feel like that's where Christian Eriksen fits in. He's like a quarterback, finds the guy that's in a better position than you think you're in.
Right.
And that guy has more time, more space, and a chance to finish.
You know what I heard in there? That you admitted you were wrong. That's right, Patriots. That is absolutely right. Mr. Graham has admitted that sometimes he's wrong, and sometimes the Big Six is wrong. And right now, the Big Six is dreadfully wrong.
No, I didn't say that.
You did. Globalist elite. I get it. I totally get it. It's okay, Graham. You admitted fault. That will be going in the documents. I just want to let you know that it will definitely, that quote will be in the documents. Sam Graham said, quote, "I was wrong." That's exactly what happened right there.
What happened was I started talking before I read my notes, and the first sentence is a good one for Leicester, but it was far from comfortable.
Yeah, there you go.
So I had to try to play it off and relent in a different manner. That's what happened.
You heard it, Patriots. He relented. It's time for us to go forward. Time for us to go forward and be triumphant and win the day. That's exactly what we're supposed to do.
I'm going to go crawl up a tree like the lizard man I am, or whatever you fucking believe, weirdo.
Good week for the Spurs, man. Good week for the Spurs.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
I hate seeing it.
They are right back in the discussion for Champions League.
Yes, they are.
You cannot slip because they are right there.
Well, one of the games we have is against them. We have a 4-point cushion at the moment. We're on the same number of games, and we get to play Chelsea when they're in a bad way.
Yeah.
So we're in our own driver's seat here.
Right, of course.
But
you also don't like seeing them get hot.
No.
You'd rather them be sucking it right now and being terrible.
Yes.
Like DX said, baby, suck it.
It's also kind of hot, to be honest. So maybe I do like to watch them get hot.
Jesus Christ.
And heavy. Ooh.
Injury time. So.
What was that Seinfeld episode? And then the guy did the thing, and then he couldn't play his saxophone.
Hold on.
Remember that?
Hey, baby, get back to the the analysis.
West Ham gifted the lead to Spurs through a Zuma own goal, who was on the receiving end of some of the funnier chants I think I've heard this time. And I can't, it was to the tune of a Beatles song, and I can't really remember what it was verbatim. I can't remember it. And then there's another sign in the right by the corner flag that said Kurt Zuma shags cats.
Yes.
This is very funny. Obviously, he doesn't shag cats. Kind of missed the point there.
Right,
it's the opposite of shagging a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
They hit the cat. I think it was like "Come Together" or something, but it was a Beatles song was the tune. Maybe it was "Hey Jude" and it said "Hey Kurt," something. It was something like that.
Hey Kurt, don't kick a cat.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yes, that's exactly what it was. I heard it at like 8:00 this morning. I was still asleep. For real.
Pet its head and treat it better.
Look at you freestyling. It was very funny. But it was an own goal for him first. Son missed his kick a bit from Harry Kane's cutback. Kurt Zuma anticipated him hitting it, so he slid in and then not being in control of it, or dove in rather, and not being really in control of himself. The ball hit off of his knee that he was about to land on and passed Fabianski. Yep. Unlucky. And then Benrahma, Son doubled the lead before halftime. Harry Kane's pass on this one was sublime.
Oh, absolutely it was.
It was. Antonio Conte described him after the match, said, in this player, we have a number 9 and a number 10.
You do. You do.
One player. It was on the ground, just a through ball that was perfectly weighted, caught Son right in stride. He overcomplicated things, but he still finished well, so good on him. And then Benrahma got one back from a corner, and a flick on from, which is why I won my fantasy game, because of Craig Dawson
flick on
that
Very
Benrahma
nice.
scored from.
Very nice.
So that assist put me above and beyond.
By 1 point.
Yep.
It was the 1 point that gave you the win.
It was perfect. But there was a couple free kicks in some dangerous places for West Ham. They didn't really trouble Spurs too much in that department, even though Spurs give up a ton of set play goals.
This is unfortunate for West Ham. This is like at home. Honestly, you want to be 5th place or 4th place. You beat Spurs.
Well, I think also, too, they just finished that 120 minutes against Sevilla on Thursday. Yeah. They looked a little leggy in this game. I think they were exhausted.
Yeah, which we also said could be a problem potentially for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I ultimately, I still feel like West Ham's going to be playing in some form of European football, but this certainly didn't help them. That's for damn sure.
Correct. I think they should turn their focus, honestly. I think they should turn their focus on winning the Europa League.
It's to get by Sevilla. Like, that's a big one.
That's a huge one. They're perennial Europa League winners.
That's the one, Yeah.
Yeah. That's a huge win. I mean, they can go to fucking Barcelona. I haven't seen the draw. I don't know what the draw is, but Barca's in the Europa League.
Yeah, I know.
So West Ham at the Spotify Camp Nou?
That'd be pretty cool.
Fucking hell. You know that, right?
Yeah, it just sounds wrong.
It is wrong.
Just sounds wrong.
Apparently, if they want to feature artists, they can change the Spotify shirt sponsor to be like Michael Bublé. It's ridiculous.
Thanks, Koeman.
Sure money.
That is not where I expected you to go with that. Thanks, Ronald Koeman. Brilliant. All right, ladies and gents, this is Sure Money. This is the area of the show, the segment, if you will, which is what an area of a show is, where we make bets to better inform you for your bets because we're super smart, super pragmatic, and we're ready to go.
Exactly.
I bet the wrong week of games.
Yeah. So your bet's still in the open.
Yes. Well, 2 of the 3 of my parlay already happened, and I did win those 2 games. The next one doesn't happen until April 2nd.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's still active. I am still down 181. I'm fine right now. I will be in the positive should I win this bet, but I got to wait to see what happens in 2 weeks.
Heard.
Stupid idiot.
I missed on Liverpool, and you guys fucked it off and couldn't win. So that sucks, and I'm now down $929.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
28.58065% of the time. It works 100% of the time. I got right here. Fuck you both, Arsenal and Gobshites. A couple losers.
Nice.
All right. And do we know how Pat did, or
I reached out to Pat. He said, "There's no games next week. I'm going to bed."
Very, very good. Well, he does have to work in the morning. So.
Yeah, he gets there about 3 a.m. too, 3-4 in the morning.
Excellent. So
he's a truck driver. I don't have an email from him either.
It's fine. Well, I just wanted to find out how he had done was all. But there's not a lot in the segment this week. Let's face it. It's very simple. It's just a recap. But we do still have a chicken.
I mean, kinda. Kitty hit on her man's side, winning, and sits at 15-11. But I haven't heard anything from her this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just going to assume she's taking a little holiday with a certain Vox.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, Sam, I need to remind you to be very careful with your alcohol, just like I remind everybody else to be very careful gambling legally and responsibly.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Oh, no!
Could we get my sticky glove suggestion?
That was bloody fucking brilliant.
All right, so there's actually a couple of crazy results in the midweek for the championship. So for once, I am going to say something about that. Careful, the ink might bleed on your documents.
Yeah, I know.
Then you're going to be in real trouble. You can't do all your research.
Exactly.
That wasn't a video element. So if you're just listening to this on Apple Pod, why don't you check out the YouTube? Okay, I did air quotes there. Bournemouth and Reading tied 1-1. Which was huge midweek. Borough beat Birmingham 2-0 in their push for the playoff places. Blackburn beat Derby 3-1, which is fucking annoying. West Brom beat Fulham.
Wow.
Which doesn't mean anything to Fulham, but it helps West Brom out a lot.
Right.
Sheffield United drew 0-0 with Blackpool. Cardiff beat Stoke 2-1. So there's like huge playoff implications for the middle of the field here. Millwall beat Huddersfield 2-0. Nottingham Forest 3-1 over QPR. And Swansea beat the Posh 3-2, but who doesn't? Over the weekend, Derby did get a point, drawing Coventry 1-1. Sheffield United back to winning ways 2-0 over Barnsley. West Brom came from behind to draw Bristol City 2-2. Bournemouth got back to winning ways, beating Huddersfield 3-0. Luton 3-1 over Hull. Reading beat Blackburn, which coupled with a Derby draw is unfortunate. Stoke 2-0 over Millwall. Swansea 0-0 with Birmingham. And then on Sunday, why did this show up twice? Like it happened 2 days in a row. Oh, there it goes. The Posh actually won 3-1 over QPR on Sunday, which sucks for QPR because they were pushing for a playoff spot. So you've got Fulham still on top on 77 points, Bournemouth in second on 69, occupying the other automatic promotion place. In the playoff places right now, you have Luton, Huddersfield, Sheffield United, and Blackburn in third through sixth on 63, 63, 61, 61 points respectively. Middlesbrough, though, have played 2 games less. They have games in hand on a couple of teams in front of them on 59. So they could potentially, should they win those games, just have more points than them now.
Oh, wow.
QPR is also on 59 points, but they have played the same number of games as everybody in the playoff positions. Millwall is on 57. Forest are on 58. They've only played 36 games. So they could jump up into the playoff spots if they win their games in hand as well. So it's going to get very tight, very fucking fast. And this is the playoff places in the championship are a space that I would pay very close attention to over the next couple of weeks as some of these games in hand start to get played.
Well, it's also how, what also plays into that is how, who's the informed team that busts their way into the playoffs. You could very easily see the 6th place team win. The last one in is the one that ends up getting promotion because they just played hot down the fucking stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go into the playoffs in form. That's a great place to be. But you go all the way down. So from third, Luton on 38 games with 63 points. You go all the way down to West Brom, really even Blackpool probably in 13th on 52 on 37 games. Every one of these teams has a chance. That's what, 3rd through 12th? That's 9 teams.
Yeah.
10 teams that have a chance at making the playoffs for those 4 spots.
That's going to be fun to watch.
It's heating up.
Ooh.
It's heating up. And I actually need to tell you what happened at the bottom of the table and how far Derby are back now. Derby have now, after the last couple of games, dropped down to the basement of the championship. They are on 25 points on 39 games played. Peterborough, Barnsley, and Reading all have a game in hand on them. Peterborough are a point ahead. Barnsley are 3 points ahead on 28. And Reading are now look fairly safe on 33 points. They only have, Derby, a -7 goal differential. And without their 21-point deduction, would be sitting on 46 points, which would be good enough with this goal differential, would be good enough for 17th place right now.
Wow.
Which is credit to Wayne Rooney still. I mean,
Right.
to have this, to even be in with a shout. Now, there are, like I said, 9-10 games left, something like that. It was a 48-game season. So he's got 9 games left. That's 27. That's a shitload of points up for grabs. He's not going to win them all, obviously. And he needs to couple these on a weekend when Reading and Peterborough and Barnsley do the same thing.
Losing points.
They all lose, and you win your game.
Yep.
And it's getting more and more difficult for him in the basement. I still think he has his credit that he's garnered so far. So
all right,
we'll see
Mr.
what happens.
Graham.
But it's getting very interesting in the championship.
That's going to wrap it up. Any parting words?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think there are really.
Uh-huh.
Continue to give Kurt Zoom a stick. One thing I will say for Tottenham supporters is that you were at least creative
Here
this
you go.
weekend.
At least creative. Hey, Kurt, don't kick a cat.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Injury Time, where we go over the beers we were drinking. We talk about our adopted clubs, and we're going to actually recap the quarterfinals of the FA Cup this week, since there are no games to preview next week as we are on the international break. Should somebody want to find Injury Time, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
Very easy. It's www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow. That's Patreon, P-A-R-T, Patreon, Patreon.com/DUfootballshow. And sign up to our $5 tier, and you get both Sound Check, which is our catch up from the weekend, actual sound check for the show, hear about a few stories from our personal lives, and then Injury Time, our preview show, where we also check out our adoptive club, as Sam has already said, from different countries. And a lot more sexy jokes there, too.
Heard sexy jokes. Sure thing, babe. Sure thing. Till next week, everybody.
Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Sam Houston? Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy. Sam Graham. Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!